Thank you very much, Your Highness, the Mayor of Qatar, Your Excellency, Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Zambia joins other leaders in congratulating the State of Qatar for hosting this important conference on LDCs, and in particular to congratulate the Emir of Qatar for being the president of this particular LDC platform. There are many questions that are being asked, which we ask ourselves as LDCs. What is locking us up? What is keeping us at the bottom? What are the real issues that we should address for us to move from the potential we all have to prosperity? These are genuine and relevant questions. Really, we need to agree on a combination of solutions to respond to these hard questions. And it's important that we do respond to them. It is important for us to recognize that, amongst other factors, we need to work in partnership amongst ourselves, with each other, and indeed with the developed world. Coupled with a collective resolve to foster greater economic and social development, and indeed to make our aspirations of a Doha program of action attainable, it is important that we work together as a team. There is, however, still need to step up our collective efforts aimed at galvanizing multi-stakeholder engagements at all levels, including with the youth. We heard from the youth this morning, vulnerable communities, the private sector included in there, and other non-state actors, because they are all important for us to effectively implement the program of action which we all agreed. Mr. President, Zambia considers 2023 a critical year for strengthening our resolve to address some of the key challenges that we face, particularly given the scheduled landmarks that the UN is engaged in. We are part of that UN. We have to devise workable solutions that will help reduce debt vulnerabilities, mitigate climate change, and the challenges, particularly the challenges around economic shocks. In particular, the SDG Summit, Mr. President, in September, we will need to rededicate our efforts to collectively agree on concrete steps and actions to get back on track in implementing the 2030 agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. Mr. President, we appreciate the catalytic role that the UN plays in all these issues, including our South-to-South cooperation. Zambia, Mr. President, therefore aligns with your call to reform the international financial system so that it supports sustainable, inclusive, and equitable economic growth for job creation, as well as creating business opportunities for our people. Not particularly to eradicate poverty. I want to make a serious comment here, but to create wealth. And when we create wealth, we'll be able to tackle poverty as well. I think this is a very important aspect. Poverty reduction alone does not grow our economies, but wealth creation does. It is important, therefore, that we also look at the issues around food security. And for these things to happen, Mr. President, we need more capital flows into our countries, LDCs, number one. Number two, when the capital flows into our countries, it must come at a fair price. LDCs pay a higher price of capital than others around the world. Why should this continue? No, we should change it. Mr. President, we need to continue our fight against climate change, as I've stated already. And we have discussed this, we discussed this at COP27. We continue to do that. We continue to do that before COP27. And the developed countries, Mr. President, should meet their pledge of $100 billion per year in climate change finance. This is important. This is a matter of credibility with regards to meeting our commitments as a global community. We are therefore hopeful that COP28 in the United Arab Emirates this year will be the game changer with regard to actioning on commitments that are made. We expect progress on the collective quantified goal on climate finance, doubling of finance, and more commitments to clean energy transitions to keep alive our reduction in temperature increase so that we can mitigate the climate change negative effects, at least reduce the emissions by 2050. Very important. Mr. President, Zambia has placed a premium on ownership and primary responsibility in the implementation of the Doha Program of Action. We are committed to that. We have done so by aligning our national development agenda to the program's overarching the goal of structural transformation. Mr. President, in particular, promoting value addition, very important to us, particularly to products from the mining and agriculture sectors, promoting investment in energy, transport, education, health, water, and water harvesting in particular to allow us to improve agricultural production through irrigation as well. Encouraging partnership for technology transfer, digital collectivity, and growth of small and medium enterprises is important to us, including the efforts, improving efforts towards ensuring environmental sustainability and reducing the associated risks, Mr. President. May I say that innovative technological development, fair trade, and improved and increased market access are key to success, Mr. President. As peers in the LDCs, we should also continue working to resolve our common challenges by leveraging on those partnerships that support our efforts to graduate from where we are to a higher level. With such positive and deliberate efforts, we, the LDCs, Mr. President, can and shall indeed move from potential to prosperity. Zambia is desirous and ready to do so, Mr. President, and I believe others are equally doing the same. We are moving and look forward to working closely with our partners, yourselves, to realize the development of our country, and in order to graduate from the LDC category to a middle-income country. And that's our view, that's a desire we have for other countries as well, working together as a team, because humanity is one, and we cannot solve problems of one country and expect that we'll be safe from the difficulties arising from other countries. I thank you for your kind attention.